And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Canadian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. Here we go. We are in our next best of one tiebreaker match. Again, there's a three-way tie currently between Raynor, Trigger, and SKillous, and I think technically we could end up in another tie. Like if like if SKillous beats Trigger and then Trigger beats Raynor, do we just reset the tiebreaker again and do we just keep going? Like, do we right? Like if because it's only three players, if they go in like a triangle and if they beat each other again, do we just do it again? I guess technically. Yeah. Let's go. We'll see. We'll see if we can break that. At the time, I think they said they're just doing it. Yeah. Just run it back. Run it back. It's considered a money match. Well, I mean, I say that like obviously because the winner makes it to the playoffs, right? Like it is important. For now, 2-gate opener out of Trigger. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of SKillous. All right, 2-gate openers. Everything's looking normal. Everything's looking standard. We just see a Trigger veer off towards the left-hand side, and we're setting up for a... Oh, no, never mind. Just scouting. I was like, are we going to throw down a proxy pylon? The answer is no. Oh. You still have my attention. Yeah, just scouting here towards the left-hand side. I believe Trigger did not go into the base. Yep, he did not scout his opponent. So there's no probe scout in the main base. Likewise, SKillous, no probe scout either. They're both crazy. It is very rare to see both players skip on their worker scouts in PvP just because it's so common to cheese and so common to proxy. So very bold move. SKillous, he'll eventually scout with his hallucination, but that's after he's already thrown down his base. If he was up against a one base all in, and Trigger is going for a robo by the way, then SKillous would be in danger, but SKillous will get a full scout. So Nikita, he does confirm no natural. He also confirms the robo. This is the setup for a one base all in. Or I say setup for a one base all in. We're waiting for a third gateway. Trigger, does he expand or does he throw down the gate? The answer is expand. So down goes the Nexus. So coming into game number 2 here, or coming into this series, SKillous is in a better position, assuming he can defend. There we go. Ooh, locks down the Stalker. Very nice. Yeah, shield battery's almost done. SKillous went for a much greedier build, so SKillous is ahead. SKillous is ahead. He's got a faster Nexus, better saturation, better economy. Trigger, what does he have? A faster robo. This would have been ideal defensively to defend against a one base all in. So defensive opener here by Trigger, he is forced to go for the Prism. The Prism does allow him to harass with Adepts. But the pressure is on Trigger, 100%. You can see he's already down 6 probes, by the way. Jesus. So Trigger's in a very rough position. Trigger, he does move out. He does move out. Ideally, he can warp into Adepts. 2 Adepts, they can one-shot probes. Meanwhile, SKillous settling into Blink. As Adepts are going to drop into the main. They make their way in. SKillous being so greedy off of a 2-gate opener into a natural into a third. Getting hyper greed here by SKillous. The pressure is on Trigger. Trigger, he has yet to confirm. He will soon. He will now. He will now confirm. Checks the third base. Immortal's on the way. And Trigger has to make a choice. Does he 2-base all in or does he expand? Yeah, rough decision. Throws down the gateway. Ah, all in. Let's go. Now, when it comes to this all-in that we're setting up for, SKillous, he's just now throwing down extra gateways. SKillous, he will have Mass Blink Stalker to defend. Meanwhile, Trigger, he will have 2 Immortals. He has 1 currently, a second Immortal will almost pop out. The Immortals they can make up for his otherwise lack of Blink Stalkers. But it's still going to be a difficult, it's still a difficult position for Trigger. Blink is done in 8 seconds. Can he lock down the army? He can! Decent force fields, gets a Stalker, gets 1. 1. Blink is now complete. Bleeds out some sentries. And Trigger, he needs more damage here. So far, he does run the army away. Can he kill the expansion? Can he kill the Nexus? Go for the dive! Oh my god, does go for the dive. Doesn't like the blink. Doesn't like the warp in. As Prism goes down, Immortal goes down, and Trigger, he will lose everything here. Trigger, he is miles behind. He will lose the main army. He will not kill the third. And Trigger doesn't have his own. Doesn't have his own. Trigger, he's got to try to keep going, but again, he just has no army left. The final Immortal goes down. SKillous, he will overwhelm. He just snowballs out of control, cleans up the army. And despite struggling against Raynor, SKillous, he will look dominant here against Trigger, against SKillous, who's in the driver's seat. A lot of this came down to lack of scouting, to be honest. Like, Trigger, he chose not to probe scout the main base, so he made a bunch of assumptions, and he fell behind in those assumptions. And that forced his game state. With Trigger just now is taking his own third. Trying to at least... I do feel like SKillous could have stuck around to force a cancel. So SKillous is just being a little bit overly cautious. I mean, he's still ahead, right? He's still ahead. SKillous is up over 10 workers. Up by 13. He's ahead when it comes to the upgrades. +1 is almost done. Charge is on the way as well. Once again, the one thing that Trigger has over his opponents is the Immortal count. It's the only thing. But against a more Zealot heavy style, the Immortals don't mean much. So the Pepsi thread in the shade. Okay, they make their way into the main. Trigger. This should not have happened. 1, 2, 3 probes going down. Remember, 2 episode 1-shot probes. And SKillous out of position, racing back into the main base. That's going to be 5, not 6 dead workers. Can we get 8? 7 probes going down. Very nice damage here by SKillous. Sorry, by Trigger, I meant to say. Very nice damage by Trigger. Trigger now takes a worker lead. Now, bearing in mind that Trigger, he does take a worker lead, but because his third base is so late and the saturation is so late, he still needs more time to recover. Jesus, and he's throwing down just a wall of cannons and shield batteries. Glaives are on the way, going into Immortal Glaive Adept. But SKillous is moving out. So again, remember, SKillous, he has +1, he has Blink, he has Charge. He's had the bigger bank and the better economy for longer. That translates into a larger army. Now, are the cannons and shield batteries, is that going to be enough? Can Trigger hold? Can he hold on? Army just collapse in. Getting on top of the side defense, trying to get on top of the Immortals, trying to shield doing Trigger driving the Prism. Prism goes down, Stalkers are exposed, but Zealots collapse in. Zealots collapse on in, shield batteries are out of energy, and it looks like SKillous, he will still pull this off, he'll still overwhelm. Takes down every Immortal, and there's nothing left. There's nothing left. GG gets called, and SKillous takes down Trigger in the best of 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played with that SKillous. He may have lost to Raynor, but he does take down Trigger. And with that, we have 2 players now with 1 win each. We have both Raynor and SKillous with 1 win each, and now that leads us into our 3rd best of 1. Quickly winding it back though, talking and discussing SKillous versus Trigger. Again, Trigger was playing from behind the entire game. He was just playing from behind. Trigger, he chose not to probe scout. He chose to worker scout the southern side and go for a robo opener. That means that Trigger from the beginning was behind in the bases, behind economically, behind in the worker count. And eventually when he scouted, it wasn't just that, it was also the fact that SKillous went into a fast third base. He went into a fast third as well. So SKillous, he took a worker lead early on, took an economic lead, then he went into a faster third base, and that forced Trigger to be active with on two bases, but he just couldn't. He was just too far behind. He could not break the expansion. He lost everything in the process. That was game. That was game then and there. The game did progress a little bit further, and we saw that Trigger was able to get 7 probe kills in the main with his adepts, which was impressive. It was very impressive. It was very nice, but it wasn't enough. Even with the wall of cannons and shield barriers, he could not survive the push. He couldn't survive the counterattack. GG, well played. And with that, that leads us into our next best of one, Raynor versus Trigger.